Heya, I'm Oliver Hale, 16 years old from Slough, Berkshire, in the United Kingdom. Today I'd like to very much willingly present to you my time in the Amish community of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. All of what I'm about to present to you is definitely under my control and I do not need help in any way. Let's speak about this. A British kid gets thrown into an Amish country for a whole year. Why did I agree to that? Honestly, they paid well to be on the show. Now, did I enjoy it? Not really, but I'll give credit where credit is due. The only good parts were the ones where I didn't have to worry about getting mugged on the way to milk a cow by some wannabe roadman. No knife crime, no random violence, none of that chaos. Things were organized, clean and structured. People actually looked after one another instead of just themselves. Crime rates? Basically non-existent. Social issues? Way less than back home. If I'm being honest, that part was genuinely refreshing. It made me realize how chaotic and unstable society can feel. But that's really where my compliments end, because everything else was as good as the smell in a barn, in my experience. Anyways, let's begin with the language. I barely survived French in school, so imagine my face when someone starts shouting in some AliExpress German dialect at me. Thankfully, they also speak English, but nonetheless, that was a very scary first impression. Now, the clothing. I looked like I was either drunk while picking what I had to wear, or I was dressing to fail my job interview on purpose. Let's talk about work now. I did farm work, and the smell of cow waste, it could knock a plane out of the sky. Crops, it was really boring and repetitive, and milking cows, it's not as cool as in Minecraft. I give it a no out of 10 for me. Social life, well, there was nothing for me there. They're all born into giant families. A gift of God, they call it, and I'm just sticking out like a sore thumb trying to integrate myself in the Amish. It ain't working for me. Now, the rules. Oh my, the horror. Every single part of the life is regulated. Clothing, speech, behavior. It's like living in someone else's movie script and being told to stick to the role. However, the role here for the Amish is for a lifetime. Thankfully not for me. I could understand why they find it normal since they stick to it for their whole life, at least for the majority, but for me it feels like I'm playing a character that really doesn't belong here. During the free time I had, I could actually go talk to some people which kept insisting that this has been their way for generations, and they might find it fine, but for me it's pure misery. Now, here's one metaphor that should actually make sense about this society. The Amish, they're like Apple products. When you're inside the ecosystem, everything works smoothly. Leave the ecosystem and suddenly you lose everything. Except, instead of losing your iCloud account and photos, you lose your family and your entire social life. That's terrifying. And to close on that metaphor, if your whole life is Apple products, then jumping ship to another way of using your phone, it may feel weird, odd, or scary, or hard to integrate. Well, that's the best way I could describe my feelings about integrating into Amish society. Anyways, let's change the subject. This one's a bit complicated. It's about music. The Amish, they do sing a lot, actually. Hymns at church, singing in the fields, even Sunday evenings where the youth gather to sing. But it's all a cappella and super slow. Really, no headphones, no Spotify, no way to blast music in my room when I need it. Some of the Amish youth, they sometimes sneak radios in their buggies, but that wasn't exactly an option for me. Going from having my entire music in my pocket to now having nothing but communal hymn singing, it was absolutely brutal. Music, it was how I decompressed after school, it was how I focused while coding, and without it, it felt like a part of me was just missing. Now, the Amish, they use buggies, which is basically horses and a little cabin on the back with wheels. That sounds funny, but really sophisticated for their time, honestly. Considering they're stuck in a time bubble, that's pretty funny. Now, the Amish, they still interact with outsiders, don't get me wrong, but they'll sell you furniture or crops, or a bit newer, they even sell clothing, but culturally they're sealed in a bubble, as I already said. It's like their city is a simple boundary set in place in the middle of somewhere in America. And outside of that boundary is noisy and prideful way of life of the standard society. At least I imagine that's how they must see it, because being a resident of Western society, it may feel obnoxious sometimes. So yes, the Amish, they're kind people, but lifestyle? Not for me, not in this lifetime at least. And my final choice? It could have been pretty obvious to see, but I'm out. I'm not living the rest of my life pretending that a horse is a Tesla. Kind of like how Romanians see autopilot, if you will. Anyways, thanks for listening to this absolutely unscripted rambling, and hope that you enjoyed it.